Welcome back. It's day 8 of adding a random NFL player to the Washington Commanders so the Commanders can win the Super Bowl. On day 7, we added Will Anderson Jr. from the Houston Texans and only won 5 football games. Now to note, these videos are now being recorded after Myles Garrett has been traded to the Los Angeles Rams and A.J. Brown is now a New England Patriot. So, moving forward, if we spin the Rams or the Patriots, those guys are on the table for those teams. And on the contrary, Jared Verse is now a Cleveland Brown and he's available if we spin the Browns. So, let's spin the wheel on day 8 and see which team we're stealing from. And it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's jump into the game and see who we want to steal from the Kansas City Chiefs. We had a better running back to the Washington Commanders here on day 8. We had Kenneth Walker from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, truth be told, they did have a better center than we have and a better quarterback than we have, but we have already upgraded those positions on day 4 and day 6, so I felt it best to take a running back here on day 8, beef up the offense a little bit more, add another skill position, and hopefully turn this around for the Washington Commanders. So, I'll see you at mid-season. The most optimistic I've been through 8 days is we're 5-2 at the midway point in the season, just one game out of the NFC East. Let's take a look at the stats of the guys we've added through 8 days. Justin Herbert's still playing well for us. 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns to just 6 interceptions. Let's take a look at Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker with just under 500 yards and a touchdown through 7 games. It looks like he's got a couple of his touchdowns vultured by Rachaad White, but nonetheless, he looks like a worthy addition here on day 8. Let's take a look at our receivers. JSN and Terry McLaurin are proving to be the 1-2 punch I was hoping they would be. 35 catches, 589 yards, and 5 touchdowns for JSN. 30 catches, 397 yards, and 5 touchdowns for Terry McLaurin through 7 days. Let's jump over to the defense. It's opposite of yesterday as Micah Parsons leads the team with sacks over Will Anderson, 6.5 for Parsons, 2.5 for Will Anderson. Let's take a look at Derwin James. Through 7 games, Derwin James still can't find any interceptions, but let's see if he can turn it around in the second half as the Washington Commanders push towards the playoffs and a Super Bowl. I'll see you at the end of the season. Josh Allen wins his second straight MVP award, and Mike Vrabel wins Coach of the Year for the New England Patriots. Let's take a look at the Commanders' record at the end of day 8. The Commanders go 5-5 over their last 10, but it's good enough to make the playoffs as the 6th seed. We'll travel to Detroit to take on the Lions in the first playoff game. So, without further ado, let's get right into the wild card playoffs. I'm not sure where this style of football has been, but I'm happy it's here on day 8 as the Washington Commanders smoke the Detroit Lions 31-10 in the wild card round. Let's see who we're taking on in the divisional. The Washington Commanders head out west to take on the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC divisional round. So, let's get right into it and sim the divisional. And again, the Commanders are playing dominant football as they beat the San Francisco 49ers 38-28 to advance to the NFC Championship. Let's see who they're taking on in the NFC title game. The Commanders will head to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles to try and make it to the first Super Bowl here on day 8. And if you take a look at the AFC side, the guys that have been battling it out for the MVP award, Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, fittingly, are the 1 and the 2 seed in the AFC and are in the AFC title game. Let's see if the Commanders can sneak past the 1-seeded Eagles on their way to a Super Bowl. And the Washington Commanders do it. They say you want to go second in overtime, but sometimes going first isn't so bad. The Commanders punched in their first touchdown, the Eagles answered right back, and then Kenneth Walker sends the Washington Commanders to the Super Bowl for the first time on day 8. We beat the Philadelphia Eagles 34-28, and we'll take on the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's who we're going to have to beat to win the Super Bowl here on day 8, so let's get right into the game. And that'll do it. On day 8, the Washington Commanders beat the Cincinnati Bengals 24-6 in the Super Bowl. They complete the challenge and win the ring for the Washington Commanders. Stay tuned to see which team we're going to do it with next. I've already got them picked out, and you'll see day 1 tomorrow.